In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw up and use a key signature chart. This is very useful for working out how many sharps or flats you have in your scale pattern, and we're going to use it for grade 2 theory of music right through into advanced grades of theory. So we always start our key signature chart with a 0 in the centre. That's the easy part. So from this centre point, everything moves outwards, sometimes to the right, sometimes to the left. Now, the major keys go up the top of the key signature chart. And the minor keys are going to go down the bottom of the key signature chart. You may need to label those on your key signature chart to start with, then you get used to knowing that majors are at the top, minors are down the bottom. Now, from the centre, this major scale that has no sharps or flats is C major. And you know that from your scales. C major, all white keys, no sharps or flats. So we put a C up above the 0 like that. C major, no sharps or flats. Now, after that, we're going to move by fifths. Fifths is a very important number in music. A lot of things work with fifths. So if you hear a fifth on the piano, that's the sound of a fifth. A perfect fifth apart is 7 semitones. 7 semitones apart. So everything's going to move by perfect fifths. So we go up a fifth, C, G. Our next key signature on the key signature chart is G major. Then we go up another fifth, D major. Up another fifth, A major. And one more, E major. Okay, so we know our majors are going up here, fifths apart, perfect fifths apart. And then we have to know what the actual sharps are. So the first sharp that G major will have, you know from your scales, and it has F sharp. So our G major scale, we put an F sharp in here to say that G major has F sharp. Now, after that, we're going to go move by fifths. So I'm just going to use white letters because it's easier to work out. F up a fifth is C. Up a fifth, G. Up a fifth, D. So this is our order of sharps. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. If you say this enough times, you actually memorise it. F, C, G, D. F, C, G, D. It's like a little alphabet of its own, all fifths apart. So if I want to know what D major scale has, I start from the centre of my key signature chart and I move outwards. D major has F sharp and C sharp, and I stop there because I've reached the D. And that matches to the scale pattern. F sharp and C sharp. Now, if I want to know what A major has, I go from the centre. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, stop. That are there aren't in this order. We don't play F sharp first, then C sharp, then G sharp. It's actually the C sharp first, then the F sharp, then the G sharp. That doesn't matter. You can see they're still there. Here's F sharp, and C sharp, and G sharp. And if I want to know E major, start from the centre. It has F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. That have sharps. Now let's work on the major keys that have flats. So we started with C and we went up by fives. This time we're going to start with C and go backwards by fives. So C down a fifth is F. Down another fifth. Now, did you hear that didn't sound right? It sounds a bit off, a bit clashy. It's called dissonance. What we're doing is we're only doing 6 semitones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember, a fifth, that's a perfect fifth, needs to be 7 semitones. actually be B flat major. Not a common key signature for grade 2 students, but that's okay. And then we keep going down by 5. I'm still going to use the white letters because it's easy to work out. B and B. And B and A. All fifths apart. I've added flat signs onto these two because I know this one was a flat, so it will continue to be a flat after that. And it will make more sense when we actually put in the flats here from the major scales as well. So, F major. F major scale has B flat. So our first in the order of flats is B flat. Interestingly, B and F also a fifth apart. So we keep going. B flat down a fifth. E flat down a fifth. Down a fifth. So there are our order of flats here. B, E, A, D. It spells B. That's kind of handy. You can remember that one easily. And this is where it makes sense. That's got to be a B flat because if I'm going to do a scale that has a B flat in it, it can't be B scale. If the flat sign wasn't there and it starts on B flat, it's not B scale. It's actually B flat scale. So we add the flat signs in. We've got B flat. This one's got an E flat already in the flats, and this one's got an A already in the flat. So that's A flat major. So that's our major key signatures with flats and our major key signatures with sharps. So now let's have a look at our minor scales. The minor scales are going to go on the bottom of the key signature chart. Now we have to know first what goes here because we know C major has no sharps or flats. What's the minor scale that has no sharps or flats? One way of working that out is to go up to the 6th note of the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an A. So we use A with a little m next to it. Now that little m stands for minor. Now some of you will be thinking, but major starts with M as well. I know. Whoever invented this system decided that little m stands for minor and we don't put anything if it's a major. So we put AM with a little minor sign there. Now after that we're just going to go up by fifths again. So we go 5 up from A, E, E minor. Up another 5, B. Up another 5, Ah. There's one of those strange sounding ones. That isn't a perfect fifth, it sounds wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 semitones. We need it to be 7. B to F sharp, that's a perfect fifth. And that makes sense too because we can see back here there's an F sharp already in our order of sharps. So if I was going to do an F scale but put F sharp in it, that doesn't make sense. It has to be an F sharp scale if it's going to have an F sharp in it. And then we go up another fifth, F, C, or if we were on the sharps, F sharp, C sharp, it will be C sharp minor. So we use this the same way as we use the majors. If I want to know what the sharps are for B minor, I start in the center of the chart and I go outwards. F sharp and C sharp. Stop, I've reached B minor. And you can see B minor scale has those. Now that was the natural minor, we're not doing harmonic minor that sounds like this. That raised 7th note that you're used to hearing, that doesn't belong in the key signature chart. If I wanted to know what F sharp minor have, I go from the center of my key signature chart, it will have an F sharp, that's the first note, C sharp and a G sharp. And so on. So we've done the minor keys now that have sharps. Let's have a look at the minor keys that have flats. So we're going backwards by fifths. A minor, down a fifth, D minor. Down another fifth, G minor. Down another fifth, C minor. And down another fifth, F minor. And I'll put my little lines in to show where they line up, just in case you're a bit wonky when you're drawing it. So now if I want to know what C minor scale has, it has B flat and E flat and A flat. we're always going by fives, down fifths or up fifths from the center point of the scale. And that means you can work out nearly every single key signature. One of the few that isn't on here is actually B major, and that appears here after the E. If we go up 5, is B major. And that's a fairly common thing. It has 5 sharps, 1, 2, 3, 4, go up another 5, and yes, that might get used in some of them. But you can work it out. Everything is going by fifths. Majors at the top, minors at the bottom. Now, something else that we can see with our key signature chart is the way that the majors and the minors are relative keys to each other. A relative key means they have the same key signature. And in our key signature chart, we can actually see them because they're on top of each other. C major and A minor both have no sharps and flats. G major and E minor both have F sharp. D major and B minor both have F sharp and C sharp. So it's a really handy way of quickly knowing what two key signatures are actually relative to each other. And that's all for today about the key signature chart. In the next video, I will show you how to use the key signature chart to put the sharps and flats into their correct positions on the stave.